Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Celtic Talk. And today we need to get to the bottom of what's went wrong at Celtic. Well, in terms of domestic football, we've won everything. We've done trebles. We've won. We've went undefeated in the full season. Uh, we've basically blown Rangers out of the water, boasting over 35 trophies since the year 2000. So everything's going fine. The league profits are doing amazing every year. You know yourself, you hear the over 20, 30 million we're making. And then I think this year, we're saying if we sell O'Reilly along with the Champions League money, we'll be over 150 million in the green. So everything sounds great. It sounds like a progressive club. But what's went wrong? For me, that European record we have is absolutely shocking. Uh,
Terrible thing to happen to Celtic, but they've given away a penalty after only 7 minutes. And listen to the Celtic fans and the Portuguese fans. It's 1-0 for Inter. Gemmell, a great goal. One goal each. Gemmell. Murdoch. It's goal! Celtic has scored! Only 5 minutes to go, and without a doubt, the European Cup is on its way to Glasgow. The whistle will go any moment now. The referee just looking at his watch, he's not even watching the play. And the whistle is going, and Celtic have won the European Cup. A fantastic victory by a great team. Celtic have won. The goal scorers Gemmell and Chalmers.
On it. Nearly 45 minutes played. Thompson! Celtic are ahead! Right on half-time! The deadly left foot of Alan Thompson does it! Wide as if to say, where was my wall? It disintegrated. Semi-finals!
The sun shines on Seville and the Celts are here for the third time in their proud history, but the first in 33 years. Celtic are in the final of a European trophy. Tonight in Seville's impressive new Olympic Stadium, it's Celtic against Porto in the UEFA Cup final, and the waiting is almost over. The early arrivals are already in their places, and I can tell you that the air of expectancy here is almost visible. A peaceful green and white army is occupying this beautiful old city. Celtic fans have been arriving from every corner of the globe, and they've been spending the last couple of days noisily rehearsing for what they hope will be the biggest party since Lisbon 1967.
Even from the year probably 1990, we've been going down a slippery slope. And then Martin O'Neill comes back in and we hit the heights again. There was some squad he had, but 2003 we get to the final. You had some team, and then you're chatting Gordon Strachan, 2006, 2007. We got the last 16 twice. Now he needs to be commended, I think, Gordon Strachan, for what he done with the team he had. You're chatting Scott McDonald, Barry Robson, Paul Hartley, Lee Naylor, Mark Wilson, Gary Caldwell, that dickhead. It was basically a team he made up out of the Scottish League. And he did amazing with it, in my opinion. Then you have Lenny, who got the last 16 with Celtic in 2012. And we got wins here, there, last 32, Europa League, that sort of thing. And just getting into the Champions League groups after that. But that was the last real landmark, wasn't it? Beating the Barcelona and getting to the last 16 where we got beat 5-0 by Juventus in aggregate. And that was 12 years ago now. Now, I think what we're missing, in my opinion, is there's a few things that are going on. I think if you look at teams like Ajax, for example, I mean, Ajax was it 2019? They had a team that were very unlucky not to get to the final. They came up against Tottenham. They lost, I think it was 3-2 in the second game, but they were odds-on favourites the way they blew them away in that first game, away from home. They were odds-on favourites to get into that final. And it was Ten Hag's team, a lot of players that you would know now, like Onana, De Ligt, De Jong, um, that Van de Breen or whatever you call him. You know, he's loaned out from United now. Dolberg, Todic. I think he's back here now, isn't he? Is Sinek. They're all players that basically you know them now because they got switched over, you know, to bigger teams after. It was like FC Porto in 2002, 2003, the ones that beat us, and then the next year won the Champions League. That squad got ripped apart, so it did. But it's the same thing with that Ajax team. But what you see in that Ajax team, I think it's what we're missing, is from experience to youth to experience. It goes from De Ligt, big defender, but young and experienced. You put in David Blind beside him. United's career, you know, like Premier League, European experience, has that behind him. That steadies the ship. And I think what we have in our team is Carter Vickers. He's meant to be the one getting the ship, but he hasn't really got that proper experience in Europe. I think you get a proper European centre-back beside Carter Vickers, it'll improve him and it'll steady up the defence around him. Now, Greg Taylor, I love Greg Taylor. I think he's a brilliant player, but I think he's around Anthony Ralston level. What I mean by that is we all think Anthony Ralston's a brilliant backup, but if Alistair Johnston's fit, Ralston's fit, European game or Rangers, you're putting in Alistair Johnston. You're keeping him on the bench. And I think Bernabei, out the door, don't like him at all, don't rate him. Montgomery, I think, you know, good player, but just not up to our level. I think Greg Taylor should be a backup. And I think what should happen is Kieran Tierney. Now, I know, the joke is, geez, move on. They've set a price, Arsenal, of £10 million, right? £10 million. We spent £9 million, and that's a few years ago with Edouard. What was that, 2017, wasn't it? He forked out after selling Moussa Dembele. He forked out £9 million of PSG for Edouard. So we know that's $1 million more, for fuck's sake, yeah? 10 million. Kieran Tierney, that's a European level left back. You know, he's been playing Premier League football over the La Liga, been playing in Europe. Cultured, coming back, he'll only be better. Seeing a big name like that, it's gonna get the rest of the thing firing on all cylinders. I think we're linked with Edouard as well, but I think I went off to see for the price of him, but I think if we can get him 6-7 million now, he knows the squad, and I think we've ripped that much apart from it, the Jota and Abada and all, that when you have a player that's sort of linking well with the team and all, like, he's only 23 years of age. I think he paid the 6-7 million. I think, you know, we're going to have a go at it this year, is the conclusion. Now, I don't know if we're going to hold on to O'Reilly. Nobody does. I would love it if we did. But we can't just keep thinking that we'll sell these players and we'll somehow manage to not embarrass ourselves in Europe and get the better of Rangers. It's going to backfire. You know, I'm not the one saying blow the wad, blow every bit of profit coming in on this squad and take a gamble. I'm saying Kieran Tierney for 10 million, you get an Ida 6-7 million, say 17 million. Yeah, you're chatting 150 million profits even if you don't sell Matt O'Reilly. It's still going to be over 100 million. We are in the green. Champions League money, what we made in revenue the last year. You have Maeda and Palma on the left. Palma, he's a European player. I think he's a big game player in the sense of them Lazio games, the Feyenoord and all. He was the man, wasn't he? I don't know if it was a form fall or something like that, but I think he just suits the European football more than the Scottish League, whatever it is. But he was the one you were looking for, wasn't it? In them Champions League games, he was the one looking most likely to score. So I think we're okay on the left. Possibly on the right wing. If there's any money left, you go in for European. Like I'm talking, he has to be over the age of 24. You know, it has to be somebody who isn't just coming out of the womb. I'm sick of, see like the Yang, for example, 19 when we got him in, and he looks alright, doesn't he? But like we're tripping over players like that, aren't we? It's like, oh yeah, no, he's young, but you know he has a lot to develop on. And Europe this year, you have teams, the Feyenoords, Ajax, Rangers, for example. Rangers, that year they signed in Aaron Ramsey. Europa League final. That team there, we were unlucky to not do a treble that season. They got into a Europa League final. That team there, we beat every time we come near them. And they were knocking out Dortmund's, Leipzig's. There's a few other big names in there. It's not come to mind now, but you get the point. They were beating these teams. Like remember us, we got Leipzig and we just, we look shite against them. Like, remember that I was under Ange, the two legs. I don't know what it is, but I think that could be a big help. I think we need to treat it smart this year. We need to make signings that we think is going to help the squad now, not Scottish League, but in Europe. Don't think, he would get a few goals against Dundee or, Scales is good enough. Taylor's good enough. We'll win the league every year. You need to be ambitious because what's the point? See making profits of 150, 200, 250 million. That's all well and good. But you think, we're in this position now. We've been getting at. What is the end goal? Is the end goal just get into Europe groups every year and get a point or two and then get dumped out before Christmas? There needs to be progression. Financially, yes, but from football standpoint as well. So I think if Celtic are brave enough this season to try something different, I think we could have a great year. I mean, Leicester won the Premier League in 2015. That is one of the comparisons I think you need to be basing it on with Celtic, or obviously Ajax 2019 semi-final, and Rangers, a big one. For the board, for the manager, they need to be saying this. They can do it. They can get to a final and go to a penalty shootout in the final. Why can't we? Anyway, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
What a time to score. Just waiting, hovering there. Is it too far out? Maloney's there. Nakamura, is this the moment? What a goal from Shinsuke Nakamura! 1-0 to Celtic! Amazing!